Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Councillor Samuel Suwayende, in absentia, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Sihle Zikalala, and also the MEC for Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Siphohlo Muga, our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Ruben Molelekwa, Chief Whip of Council, Councillor Dole Mnguni, chairpersons of various portfolios, ESCO members, councillors, Business Chamber of Newcastle, the Growth Coalition of Newcastle, our acting municipal manager, Mr. Vish Gavenda, all SCDs, leaders of organized labor, traditional leaders, religious leaders, members of the media, and most importantly, a special greeting to residents of Newcastle local municipality and all protocols observed. Sanibonani Huyenan, good evening. Madam Speaker, today again marks just over a year since the President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a national state of disaster in order to contain a COVID-19 outbreak. Over a year ago, we ushered a new era of what is known as a new normal, and many lives succumbed to the deadly global pandemic. Madam Speaker, before I continue, may we collectively take a moment of silence to remember those who have lost their battle against COVID-19. Let's bow our heads. Thank you. May the soul of our beloved ones, relatives, friends, colleagues, countrymen, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, rest in peace. Madam Speaker, I have observed that coronavirus has exposed every existing inequality imaginable globally. However, with the vaccine program, we now tether and wait in anticipation for COVID-19 free world. Although there has been reported challenges here and there regarding the vaccine, but Madam Speaker, we understand that the government is safely working on ensuring that we get a safe and effective vaccine. Madam Speaker, I cannot emphasize enough the catastrophic economic impact that coronavirus has inflicted upon all of us. Our livelihoods have certainly changed, and unfortunately not for the better. Today we continue to mourn those who lost their loved ones. As a caring and listening, people-centered government, we have not slumbered in our efforts to rebuild our economy. We continue to attract potential investors to see Newcastle as preferred business destination. We also continue to agitate for improvement, betterment, and dignified life for all. As mandated by the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, this African National Congress-led municipality continues to disperse basic services to its residents unhindered. The tirelessness, zeal, and conviction to get tasks done have been fast-tracked and invigorated at a rapid speed in the past year. Whilst coronavirus and other challenges attempted to dismantle our efforts, we as Newcastle Municipality can categorically claim that service delivery has never been halted during this period. This ANC-led municipality can account without prejudice or bias that service delivery has been provided to all regardless of race, skin, color of skin, political affiliation, and gender. Hence, we believe that we are building a non-racial, democratic, non-sexist, prosperous society. It is through this also ANC-led municipality that we've been unwavering in our commitment to fighting corruption, malfeasance, maladministration, incompetence, and it's been extremely vocal in its stance to promote consequence management at all costs. Last year, we called upon residents to blow a whistle whenever they are confronted or witnessed any form of corruption. Through law enforcement agencies, Madam Speaker, Such as the South African Police Service, the Hawks, we have sounded the clarion call and extended an impassioned plea for residents to report official staff, service providers who are engaged in any form of corruption. To date, we have several cases in court where the municipality has swiftly acted against those who found wanting. Through vigorous efforts, we have nabbed a municipal employee who tried to defraud the municipality of millions of rands. And that case as well is ongoing in court. We managed to act there without any fear or favor. Through our fair and just disciplinary process, we've dismissed 2 senior officials for various transgressions. Our consequence management strategy is another clear indication that we are sincere about fighting crime and we are closing ranks. We are not going to allow our municipality to be a breeding ground for any corrupt activities. At times, our earnest efforts to root out corruption have been challenged and met with stiff opposition. It is not negotiable that we put the taxpayers' money to proper use. We remain resolute and we shall not be derailed in this effort of ours of making sure that we build a clear and a strong administration and a politically sound municipality. When this administration took over, our first objective was to implement a master plan to turn around the fortunes of this municipality. I must say, Madam Speaker, it's been a daunting task because there's been many historical challenges that to all of us, including yourself, Madam Speaker, Deputy Mayor, the officials, the HODs who have just been appointed a few years ago, we found historical problem. But firstly, a situation analysis was undertaken where I assessed our finances, infrastructure, human resource, capital program. Our priority was to service our debt with ESCOM, which was sitting at over 200 million. To date, we are servicing the debt and have managed to reduce it by over 50 million. Currently, the municipal debtors book is sitting at over 1.7 billion. Plans are afoot to implement a debt collection strategy, which will ensure that the municipality recoups the outstanding debt, because if we continue in this trajectory, we will, in the next few years, have a debtors book which is over 2 billion. Then that is not good for the financial standing of the municipality. In September last year, the municipality undertook a special adjusted budget, which was decreased by over 400 million. We embarked on aggressive cost containment measures, including unnecessary perks for officials, cutting cell phone allowances, cutting unnecessary spending, cutting on subsistence and traveling allowance. Eventually, we drastically reduced unwarranted expenses. We also had to cut overtime and monitor it closely. And we managed to save the municipality over 5 million rand a month from unwarranted overtime. In the past, we've had instances where some employees were claiming over 100 hours overtime, whilst that means that that employee has been working 24 hours for the whole month without sleep, and that is not possible. So through a TARA program, we're able to detect this municipal staff who are defrauding the municipality, such innovative systems to safeguard the financial affairs of the municipality and make this municipality a trailblazer. Madam Speaker, the glorious movement, the home of millions of South Africans, the ANC propels us at all times, all material times, to remember that freedom which we enjoy today did not come easy. It came at a cost of many lives who paid the price by fighting years of oppression by an unjust and senseless government. Today, we are reminded of the late ANC stalwart and former Secretary General of the Communist Party, Chris Hani, who said that he hated the oppressive regime with passion It is through these words that we remember that we should guide and protect our freedom jealously, because this freedom did not come cheap. So all of us need to do that. We should take ownership of our property, infrastructure, municipal property, and detest any effort which may call for the destruction of property. Where we have erred and wronged as a municipality, we call upon you to take us to account, as we believe that we are a transparent government, will be able to do that. The process to make the municipality account should never be through acts of vandalism, violence, and damage to municipal property. The Freedom Charter, which was adopted by this government and enshrined in our constitution, mandates us as the municipality to dispense basic services to you, the people. The Freedom Charter demands for all national groups to have equal rights. And therefore, as I said, ours is to build a non-racial, prosperous, and democratic society. Madam Speaker, as we stand here today, the government of the African National Congress has declared this year as the year of Charlotte Maxeke, promoting human rights, promoting human rights in the age of COVID-19. Charlotte Maxeke once said, and I quote, "This work is not for yourselves. Kill that spirit of self and not live above your people, but with them. If you can rise, bring someone with you," close quote. This encourages us that as public servants, we must always be selfless in our efforts to serve our communities. We are inspired by that and will continue to do so. This municipality has reinvigorated efforts to build a united front, social cohesion, unity, peace, and fair justice for all. Considering this topic, I am compelled to report that the Office of the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal is working together with other different stakeholders to deal with the challenges that are faced by farmers and farm dwellers in farms, and also to make sure that the process is taken through in a way that is very peaceful and matured, that will bring long-lasting peaceful solutions among farm owners, farm dwellers, and farm workers. Peaceful engagements and deliberations in that sector are still ongoing. May not find solutions overnight, but solution is inevitable. Where there has been a wrong which has gone unpunished, we call upon our justice system to act swiftly. Where human rights have been infringed upon, we call upon our justice system to act swiftly. A society which upholds its justice system cannot allow wrong to prevail forever. It is a collective effort that requires all of us to be able to deal with the challenge so that we manage to build, because in some areas and farms, some have used, the criminals have used the challenges which are faced by farm dwellers and farmers, farm workers to commit criminal activities. Those people must be exposed. We must be able to work together to make sure that we have a peaceful solution. Madam Speaker, this year we also reflect on another important milestone and journey. This year, Newcastle Municipality is commemorating 20-year journey of local government and look back at the extraordinary strides that we have made as a service delivery-oriented institution. Local government is a facet and cornerstone through which we can accelerate service delivery, since we are the first line of government that is closer to the people, that where there are challenges, the first thing, even if the challenge is not related to the core responsibilities of the municipality, but our people will always come to the municipality to complain, then they want to be listened to. So as it is a cornerstone through which we can accelerate service delivery, create a dignified life for all, and empower communities to be self-sufficient. We must at all times take every responsibility and every challenge that we are faced with to make sure that we listen to our people, we become the government that is able to listen, that takes its residents and its communities seriously. Madam Speaker, our outermost goal and mantra this year is to bolster and fast-track incomplete projects, in particular our bulk water project, and provision of houses. The main challenge that our people, especially in rural areas, farms, even in townships, even in suburbs, is the issue of bulk water projects and the provision of houses. We must make sure that we deal with this challenge and make sure that we provide the most basic services such as water and provision of houses as enshrined in the Constitution. Plans are afoot to aggressively provide housing, electricity, sanitation to first-time owners. The municipality continues to deliver on its mandate of providing houses to these first-time owners, especially those who were previously disenfranchised and marginalized. Our housing programs in H39, N11, Charlestown, Siyahlala, Hospital Street, JBC, Blaubush are a demonstration and indicator that our people's dignity is being restored every day. We are demonstrating decisive leadership and undoing years of rhetoric, which unashamedly treated one race as children of lesser God. Fellow residents of Newcastle, allow me to update you on the groundbreaking milestones and achievements thus far in the last financial year. Excuse me, Madam Speaker. Let me have some water. Indeed, Madam Speaker, as I update the residents of Newcastle on some groundbreaking milestones and achievements thus far in the last financial year, the municipality has been given a go-ahead to construct 506 community residential units valued at 4 billion. That project alone will lead to creation of over 1,000 jobs. And it will bring more people closer to the economic activities around the city as we aim to build a vibrant, strong economy by 2035 in Newcastle. Secondly, the municipality has been approved to construct 1,256 social housing units valued at 6 billion. All this is a major booster for Newcastle and job creation. All in those two projects, we are sitting with 10 billion investment that is coming to Newcastle. And therefore, it should be our aim to make sure that we use local people, we use local suppliers, and also we employ our local people also in the areas where they have competencies and avoid transferring the economy, the major boost of investment to outside our city. This ANC-led municipality was able to negotiate with UNISA for the establishment of regional university campus, which will cater for Newcastle and surrounding areas. The university will lease a municipal building for a period of 3 years with the option of purchasing the building. Understand that education is important, and hence we've prioritized giving our young people bursaries. This year, in line with the 109 of the African National Congress, we decided we are going to award 109 students with bursaries, and we've done that, and we continue to work closer with them so that they can go and further their education at tertiary level. In the next year, we plan to drastically increase that figure. We continue to prioritize young people for employment opportunities. The construction of 6 new roads in Matateni, Usizwe, Blaaubosch. Again, this is to make sure that we fast-track service delivery. And again, our people should be the beneficiaries of any economic activities that takes place in their communities. Again, municipality has obtained approval from the Department of Minerals and Energy to speedily electrify 5 areas which had never before had electricity, namely Siyahlala, which was a project for slum clearance, which is almost complete. Charlestown, Ingoko, where people, as Madam Speaker, it happened this earlier last year, where our people were marching, demonstrating, because they felt that they were being neglected. They needed basic services like electricity. Normandin and some areas in Blaaubosch and Lister Farm. Most of these projects would have been completed by the end of March, but COVID-19 has caused insurmountable delays. The issue of potholes remain a thorny problem, and it's for this reason that Newcastle Municipality has expedited its program of resealing over 7 kilometers of roads across Newcastle. The municipality has also obtained approval from the Department of Minerals, Resources and Energy to provide 285 of power geysers in Ward 1. Madam Speaker, anyone who knows Ward 1 in Newcastle, it's mostly farming communities, some of them who for major part of their lives have never had electricity. This project is going to change the livelihood of our people, especially in the farming areas of our town, because you see, if you don't have electricity, it's even difficult to buy bulk food like meat and most perishables, because you buy to eat. If you buy meat today, you must eat it today. That is not what we should so many years in our democracy be seeing and exposing our people to. So we are happy that we've moved, and that project, I must say, Madam Speaker, is expected to be completed before the end of this month. So those people in Nketeni, Wycombe, Bottas Pass, Malainin, all those areas, soon their lives would have changed because of the caring nature of this government. This year we revitalized our One Ward, One Project program. Here we decided again that we want to make sure that every ward benefits through programs. Every ward has a project, has a program, so that service delivery must be felt and seen across Newcastle, in Usizweni, Blaaubosch, Mndozo, Teki Plaza, Matateni, Charlestown, Normandin, Ingoko, and Newcastle as a whole. From Ward 1 to Ward 34, we want to make sure that as we work, every ward benefits and they see the improvements that happens in their communities. To date, we have connected 50,729 households to water and refuse removal. 255 new households will be connected to electricity by 30th of June 2021. 247 new houses will be completed by 30 June 2021. 311 VIP toilets have been installed. 3.4 kilometers of roads has been resealed in Newcastle. 70 speed humps will be installed by 30 June 2021. Again, this was a call by all councillors that in our communities also that, especially in the streets where schools are, mostly in the townships, that kids are exposed to serious threat of being involved in motor crashes. So we decided that in order to make sure that they are safe, let us go across and install 70 speed humps, which will be completed by 30th of June to improve the safety of our children in school. 0.2 kilometers of road will be gravelled outside Mndozo Clinic. Again, this was a complaint that even ambulance people, staff working at Mndozo, communities around Mndozo and surrounding areas who uses that clinic, that they normally have a problem to access the clinic, especially during summer when there are heavy rains. But now I can safely say that we've worked on that. The condition has improved and will continue to work on improving it even much better. Many roads of the sub-base layer have been completed in around Osizweni, Blaubush, Newcastle, Matateni, and also we have completed also another sub-base layer in H39, will also be which will also be a bus route. Completion of 2 kilometers of pipeline for Seoul City. This again will make sure that our people in Seoul City have access to safe water, and as we all noticed also during this pandemic, that one of the most important things to have is water. So I'm happy to say that we've completed that. We've also completed the cashier's office in Matateni, which will make sure that our people don't have to all the time come to town in order to pay. They can pay near where they live. That again shows that we are a people-centered government. The municipality was recognized for producing one of the best integrated development plan IDP. The municipality was also rated as having one of the most improved IDP in KwaZulu-Natal. And also, as I mentioned when we started, that when we came into office, one of the headaches was the issue of ESCOM debt, which is a historical debt. But I must safely say that now we've been able to service this debt religiously since we entered into the agreement with ESCOM. And ESCOM itself has applauded the municipality for keeping up with the promise and the agreement. And to date, as I mentioned, we've paid over 50 million to ESCOM. All of us will remember that this caused headaches for every resident of Newcastle when ESCOM threatened to cut the power supply to our city. But I must say that we are happy with the assistance, especially from COGTA and Provincial Treasury, who came with us to make sure that we structure a proper agreement. Madam Speaker, during the creation of the 2021-22 budget allocation, we frowned upon a budget that will focus on willy-nilly matters, but strike the crux of the needs of the population of Newcastle. Ours was a budget allocation whose stance mainly focused on bread and butter issues. Fellow residents of Newcastle, Madam Speaker, our business of today is as follows. The consolidated budget for the 2021-2022 year is 2.6 billion, which has been developed with an overall planning framework and includes the programs and projects to achieve the maximum strategic objectives of the Newcastle municipality as per our integrated development plan. This budget has been set against the back and the current slow economic growth, escalating debtors, historical commitments on loans and creditors, while at the same time taking into cognizance in respect of the burden to consumers through rates and services. Maybe I must, Madam Speaker, whilst on this one, mention that business normal residents of Newcastle and surrounding areas have taken a serious blow, and some of them have even lost their jobs during this pandemic. It is true that we had to, it was on the background of that, Madam Speaker, that we had to produce this budget, knowing very well that everywhere there is a slow economic growth, and also even though where our revenue base has been seriously hit, where some businesses has had to close due to COVID-19. Economic challenges will continue to put pressure on municipal revenue generation and its ability to collect revenue in 2021-2022 financial year. Hence, a very conservative approach was adopted when projecting revenue and receipts based on the current payment factors. It is, however, hoped that with the easing of the COVID-19 restrictions, the payment is expected to start showing a positive trend during the budget year. COVID-19, as I said, has presented us with a variety of financial challenges and obstacles. But these impediments will not deter us from our mandate of service delivery. Madam Speaker, the provision in this budget is in line with government's steadfast commitment to support efforts of which will broaden service delivery and expand investment in infrastructure, especially through capital projects, whilst at the same time considering the limited fiscal environment upon which the budget was prepared. The budget has further been structured to contribute to the municipality achieving the maximum strategic objectives of the IDP, considering the effect of limited resources. National Treasury as MFMA circulars were used to guide the compilation of 2021 budget, 2021-2022 budget. Furthermore, budget format and content incorporate requirements of the municipal budget and reporting regulations. The following principles, Madam Speaker, I will not go through all of them. In formulating the draft budget were applied. Municipal budget funding plan, cost containment strategies, affordable, realistic budget, national economic outlook and its impact on local government, realistic, achievable collection rates, capital expenditure to be mainly funded from grants, indigent subsidy for water be maintained to the national guideline of 6 kiloliter, indigent subsidy package to include property rates, revenue-driven budget with a view to achieve affordability. Madam Speaker, this budget was not crafted without hurdles. We were confronted with a host of challenges, but none are insurmountable or too great for this municipality to conquer. The ongoing difficulties in the national and local economy, which necessitated cost containment measures as required by Treasury, the prevalence of COVID-19 pandemic, which required the reprioritization of funds, National Treasury austerity measures with minimal growth on conditional grants. We expect that going forward we'll be getting less in terms of our grants because of the steps that has been taken by National Treasury. Inadequate allocation for repairs and maintenance due to funds limited capital infrastructure injection with no corresponding provision of near or future maintenance due to limited resources. Inability to provide for adequate vacant positions due to limited funding, cutting down on some of the key functions due to limited funds. However, prioritizing service delivery, especially maintenance of infrastructure and providing basic services. Bulk electricity increases above the increase in revenue tariff increase, which implies additional burden for the municipality. Because as we know, electricity increases are normally guided by NERSA, and however, when we increase our services, we are normally guided by the inflation rate. Madam Speaker, these are just a brief summary of a number of impediments which we were exposed to. Environment and terrain do not require us to mount, but need us to be steadfast, resolute, and committed to the cause of serving population of Newcastle. Madam Speaker, operating budget which funds the continued provision of services provided by the municipality is projected to increase from 2.3 billion in 2020-21 to 2.5 billion in 2020-22, representing an increase of 114 million, which is 5%. The increase is mainly due to increase in bulk and electricity purchases, employee cost, depreciation of assets and material. A reduction in repairs and maintenance has been noted due to some of grants which were funding maintenance of some projects no longer expected to be received next financial year. Madam Speaker, there has been a reduction in other expenditure and finance charges due to cost containment measures being implemented by the municipality. This is the indication that the municipality is starting to take right direction towards cost containment of non-core functions and reprioritization of service delivery functions. Gone are the days where we need to focus on things which are not the core function of the municipality, but reprioritize the funds and the budget towards achieving optimum service delivery. The increase in the overall operating budget is mainly due to the provision of the following: cost of bulk purchases, electricity, water, increased cost of employment, of employee-related cost due to projected annual salary increase, increased depreciation due to new capital projects appropriated in the budget, increased debt impairment due to high consumer data still not collectible, and we can expect that it might even be steeper with COVID-19 still with us. But as we said that we are living in the new normal, we need also as leaders be able to adapt to the situation and come with solutions. Madam Speaker, the total operating revenue is projected at 2.2 billion in the 2021-22 financial year, representing an increase of 88 million from the current year adjusted budget of 2.1 billion. After rigorous analysis of the current financial climate, whilst also deeply considering the impact of coronavirus and ensuring that service delivery is not stalled or halted, as a collective council, the municipality will be implementing the following charges from the 1st of July 2021. And this is where also, I must say, if it was according to us, we would not have dealt with this part, but unfortunately we have to deal with it. Looking at the economic climate, most of our people, as I said, have lost their jobs. Businesses have lost their revenue. So it will be stiff, but I'm sure that working together we will come triumphant on the situation. On electricity services, electricity tariffs are expected to increase by 14.5%. It must be noted that this tariff increase is per the NESA's guidelines of municipal tariff increase, as well as the application that will be submitted by the municipality. We know that this is above the projected inflation rate. However, this increase is based, as I said, on NESA's tariff approval for municipal tariff. The revenue figure of 710 million is also a net of the cost of free basic services of 8.5 million in respect of electricity as required in terms of the budget and reporting regulations. Water services will increase by 3.9, which is same as the inflation, and the revenue figure of 193 is a net of the cost of free basic services of 10.3 million in respect of water as required in terms of budget and reporting regulations. Refuse removal will also increase by 3.9%, for 2021-2022 financial year. And this tariff of 3.9 is expected to generate additional revenue of 2.8 million, which is 3%, from 92.7 million the current year to 95.6 in 2021-2022. Sanitation tariffs are expected also to increase by 3.9 in the 2021-2022 financial year. Property rates, this again normally causes a lot of problems between the municipality and the communities, but I'm sure that we will find one another, as we also kept this one on 3.9, same as the inflation rate, understanding the slow economic growth that is taking place. And we also decided that the impermissible will remain at 85,000 for every property. The increase in the property rate is expected to generate additional revenue of 13.6 million, which is 3%, from 348 million in the current year to 362 million in 21-22 financial year. Operational expenditure, Madam Speaker, the total operating expenditure is projected at 2.5 billion in 2021-2022 financial year, representing an increase of 114 million from the current financial year's budget of 2.3 billion. The municipal expenditure for the current 2021 budget is informed by various regulations. Part of it is National Treasury Budget, cost containment measures, circulars, relevant legislative imperatives, expenditure limit set out by realistic revenue levels, electricity load shedding and COVID-19 challenges, employee-related costs, 557 million, increase of 12.5 million. Employee-related costs has been increased from 544 million to 557 million, representing an increase of 12.5 million. Included in the employee-related cost is an amount of 29 million for overtime. This constitutes the total employee-related cost, which is also within the National Treasury norm of 5%. The bulk of this provision relates to overtime of essential services, which unfortunately, as the municipality cannot avoid. These services include waste management, electricity management, water management, public safety, and other essential services which the municipality is required to provide to communities as per the mandate from the Constitution. Remuneration of councillors. Remuneration of councillors is projected to be 29.5 million, representing an increase of 2.1, which is 8% from the current financial year budget of 27.4 million. The projection is based on the 2021 notice on the upper limits issued by the MEC for local government in December 2020. An increase of 4% has been estimated in respect of 2021-2022, which will be determined by the MEC for quarter at the beginning of 2022. The provision of this is based on various on a number of expectations. Bulk electricity purchases, Madam Speaker, is projected at 588 million, representing an increase of 88 million, which is 17.8% from the current financial year budget of 499 million. The provision of 588 million is informed by NESA's guidelines and its expected demand for electricity to the municipal consumers in 2021-2022 financial year. I wish this was within our reach. We could have decided otherwise, but unfortunately it's regulated by government through NESA. Now there is legally a room for us to play around on that one, except to try and and buffer the situation through property rates, waste collection, and all other services that we provide. For Ntuthuko Water, Madam Speaker, the municipality's contribution to Ntuthuko Water increased from 126 million to 131 million, which represents an increase of 5 million, which is 4% from the current financial year. While the entity had submitted a budget of 134 million, the current financial state of the municipality make it impractical to afford the full budget requested by the entity. Hence, the municipality has only afforded increase in line with the inflation rate and the expected tariff increase of the municipality on water. It will be critical that the entity adjust its expenditure in order to fit within the budget of 131 million. Months before, Madam Speaker, proceed, also mentioned that the issue with the Ntuthuko Water, there's been a lot of maladministration there, which COGTA has investigated. It's in a process where we've adopted a report as the council. We're in a process of following through the recommendations of that report, which clearly showed the amount of corruption which take place in that entity. And it is for that reason that I thought I should mention it, because we inject a lot of money there. We cannot afford to have so much money of taxpayers which is being embezzled. Madam Speaker, we have a host of exciting projects in store for 2021-22 financial year. This financial year will rejuvenate and implant the spirit of a dedicated public servant, as instructed by late Charlotte Maxeke, who said that everything we do for the people and not ourselves, which emphasizes the culture of selfless servants of the people who are there, as also we've seen in the behavior or the character of our late President Nelson Mandela. It is for this reason that I implore the residents of Newcastle and all sectors to make sure that we work together as we roll out the following projects for 2021-2022. We plan to construct and complete 300 new houses connected with water, sanitation, refuse removal. Madam Speaker, I must say that the good thing now is that we are building what is called not just housing. That is why we don't have Department of Housing anymore, but human settlement, where people must have connected water, must have sanitation and refuse removal. And they must, in their vicinity, be not far from other services like schools and clinics. It is for that reason that it was changed to be called human settlements, because people must be able to settle there rather than just getting a house and later on they will come back and close the road, demanding now water, electricity and other services. 624 new household connections to electricity has been budgeted for. Madam Speaker, we prioritize our roads project. We are aware of the importance of resealing of roads. We know that the main challenge in our roads has been potholes due to aging roads infrastructure, and some were due to our poor stormwater system. That has become a serious challenge, but we've made sure that we include it so that this financial year, as we start, it becomes a thing of the past. We have focused our energies on revitalizing many roads in Matateni, Osizweni, Newcastle residential area, CBD, Newcastle, Blaaubush. And we've also made sure that we don't only focus on the roads that need to be resealed, but also there are rural roads which need to be re-gravelled, and we have such roads around Matateni, Charlestown, Mdozo, Blaaubush, and other surrounding areas. And we are planning also to do another 3 kilometers of graveling in Osizweni, Matateni, Blaaubosch, at the following roads: Ward 14, was one in Ward 14, Ward 15, 22, Ward 30, Ward 31. Most of them are prioritizing roads which goes towards schools and roads which goes towards other services like clinics, and also bus routes, as we noted in Ward 31. We are also upgrading a number of roads to a blacktop complete. The old gravel roads, we are making sure that we upgrade them to a blacktop. And this, I must say, Madam Speaker, had been a challenge, because at some point we had to deal with a challenge where we are on the brink of losing even our MIG grant due to a slow pace, of which we have corrected. We are trying by all means to make sure that we don't lose such, because if we fail to implement projects on time, that becomes a negative a thing on the municipality, and it gives us a bad picture. So we must, Madam Speaker, all of us commit, including the municipal manager, in making sure that it drives everyone to make sure that we spend on time, because there are areas that needs to be improved, and for us to improve, we must focus on spending. Completion, Madam Speaker, of a 1.2 gravel road upgraded to a blacktop, that is H39 bus road, which will go through H39. Approval of electricity service delivery plan, ESDP, by council in June 2022. 6 kilometers of trench excavation, pipe laying for construction of 11.5 kilometer pipeline from Braakfontein Reservoir to Blaaubosch area. This, Madam Speaker, I must say, as we said, one of the things that we want to achieve is to make sure that our people have access to water. Hence, we had to budget for this pipeline, which will move from Braakfontein directly to Blaaubosch, to make sure that we provide water, clean and safe water, to our residents in Blaaubosch. Madam Speaker, we've also undertaken to complete the following projects during 2021-2022. 100% implementation of water maintenance plan, 100% implementation of the electricity maintenance plan, transfer of 100 title deeds to people who have never had title deeds, restoring their dignity. Now they will live in the houses where they can prove that it's rightfully their houses through the transfer of title deeds. And that is one of the things that the government has prioritized, and to make sure that we restore the dignity to our people. We will also be advertising 25 properties for disposal. This will also be one of the ways from us trying to boost our revenue in terms of the strategies that we've set to increase the revenue. Completion, construction of 0.7 kilometer of stormwater drainage for the medical precinct, 20 street lights for the medical precinct, 0.68 kilometers of water pipeline at the medical precinct, 0.93 of sewer pipeline at the medical precinct, and commissioning of the electrical substation for the medical precinct. I must say that medical precinct is one of the things which will be a major boost to our economy in Newcastle, which is right across our Newcastle Mall. We are trying to make sure that we develop that area for the medical precinct. It's called the medical precinct. The aim was to make sure that in future there is a medical properties that will be invested in that area. So we thought that it will be best for us to prepare ahead as the municipality to put the infrastructure. So hence we had to provide for that in the budget. Purchase and delivery of 1 compactor truck. Again, this has been one of the challenges, because some of our compactor trucks are old. When you have to collect refuse from our residents, there's been a challenge. Now we'll be buying one truck again to add on the number that we have so that we can speed up service delivery, because we don't want our people to remain or stay with rubble for days that has not been collected. Construction of 2 kilometers of pipeline and 10 standpipes in Ward 33 and Ward 15. If you notice, Madam Speaker, almost every ward is included in the budget. In Ward 33, which is mostly rural, there has been a challenge of water. Now I can safely say we'll be putting 2 kilometers of pipeline and provision of 10 standpipes so that our people, that is Ward 33 and Ward 15, so that our people get easy access to clean and safe water. Completion and replacement of the DN 150 bulk sewer clay pipeline from Stanford Hill. There's been a challenge there. The councillor's Kali has been complaining and pushing us to make sure that this is done. So, Madam Speaker, it's now in the budget. It's not something that we are just going to talk about, but it's going to be a reality to make sure that the sewer line challenges from Stanford Hill become the thing of the past. Appointment also of the contractor to upgrade and refurbishment of the bulk sewer pipeline from Siahlala to Fort Record Pump Station. Thus again will restore the dignity of our people, because we can't have sewer spillages all over. Now with this, it's going to improve and make sure that the conditions of our people are improved and they live in a safe, clean environment. Supply of 11,500 households with free basic water, sanitation, refuse removal and electricity in terms of the indigent policy. We will also be appointing the vacant post of the HOD community service and also fill other critical posts. Madam Speaker, fellow Newcastle residents, fellow councillors, our key stakeholders, I table the 2021 budget. As I conclude, I would like to end with a quote from our late president and a stalwart of the glorious movement, President Nelson Mandela, who once said, and I quote, "There can be no greater gift than of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return." Close quote. That again, Madam Speaker, is an indication that all of us must have that culture of selflessness, making sure that we become selfless servants of the people. In those words, let us continue to exercise selflessness during this COVID-19 period, observe all the necessary precautions as prescribed by our government, make sure that also we continue to keep social distancing, we wear our face mask, we wash our hands, and we understand that there is a possibility of the third wave coming. And most importantly, we should unite in our diversity and build our beautiful town. I thank you.